is when my clients arrive, or I actually tell them this ahead of time. If you have any poses that you want to try, if you have any ideas of what you want to do, please do it. Okay, and just let me know. Even if as I'm shooting, you're just posing, please go ahead and do it. Just don't be restricted to just my poses or my ideas, right? Because
Right.
of course, more heads are better than one. So come with whatever ideas you have.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on another episode of Iwing Marketplace Chit Chat, where we give the opportunities for entrepreneurs to talk about themselves and what they do, so we can learn from them and we can connect with them. Right here with me, I'm with Sheila. Thanks for joining us today, Sheila.
Nice to be here. I'm excited. I can't
I'm,
wait.
I'm also glad that you find you had the opportunity, or you reach out so we can do this live. It's always good when someone like you come and talk about your craft, so you can inspire so many other young people out there.
Definitely. Someone else inspired me. So hey, if I can inspire another young girl out there to do this, I'm all on board.
That's beautiful. But please, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Okay. So I am a Bamenda girl. I am a Bamenda girl. I'm a Bambili child, to be specific, right? And I am currently in the beautiful state of Virginia. I've been here for forever. So, and I am a project manager during the daytime or during my other time. But photography is where my heart is. I absolutely love it. It's something, interestingly enough, I did not know how much I will love it, how much I would enjoy it until I started doing it. And it captured my soul in a way that I just, till today, I cannot fully understand it. I just know that when I'm there and I'm shooting and I'm just so I'm loving, it's a lot of work, but like I said earlier, it's work that you don't feel like you're doing it, because I enjoy it so much. So, but
Wow,
yeah, I absolutely
that
love it.
that's wonderful. What is amazing about all of this is that you don't get to see so many ladies in photography. It's purely male dominated.
Yes.
And I'm so happy also, because I love photography.
Yeah.
My dad is a photographer. I grew up taking pictures.
Ah, see, you
When I
I
was
didn't know
like,
that. Okay. Oh
when
my
I was still a
goodness.
little baby, I started taking pictures. So I
Yes.
love talking about photography, and
Mm-hmm.
I love talking about photography with you. Can you
Yes.
tell us how old were you when you started taking pictures? And how did you get into photography?
So of course, we all remember when we had the toy cameras that you snap and you have to go and give for it to be developed, and that was such a long process. And when I came to America many years ago, I had a Canon digital camera that I had my SD card in it. And interestingly enough, I
Mhm.
still have that camera. I still have it. It's been more than 10 years. I didn't even remember. Oh wow, I still have it. But it wasn't until about 2014, when I was just graduating grad school, and I had a grad school to-do list, or post grad school to-do list, all the things that I really wanted to do, like all the hobbies and interests that I wanted to try. And photography was on that list, right? I had sewing and photography and a few other things. And even though it took me until, like, I think about 2018, 2019, before I really got serious and say, I really need to look into it, because I went back on that list. I'm like, have I accomplished everything? I had accomplished sewing, of course, but a couple of other things I had not accomplished. So that's where I looked at it. I said, you know what? Let me try this. because I was on that journey of just wanting to do things that make me happy, just wanting to try new things. I'm a believer that whatever interests you, if it's something you can afford to do, please do it. Do not let anything stop you from trying it. And so that was my philosophy, and I decided
Wow.
to give it a try. Yeah.
That is amazing, And how did you, get to perfect your photography skills? Did you get someone to teach you, or you learned by yourself, or how did it happen?
So it's a combination of both of those things that you mentioned, but heavy on the doing it myself. So I am a firm believer of doing or learning by doing. Okay.
Mhm.
And I attended YouTube University. Okay. I am still attending to this. Even last night, I had to change something on a picture, and I could not remember exactly how to do it. And I went on YouTube, and it showed me right away. So YouTube, and and I won't say I'm perfect. I'm
Mhm.
still not perfect. I'm still learning a lot. Literally after every shoot, I learn at least one or two things. And so I am still learning, but I am way better than I was, last month and last year and when I started. So I am learning
Mhm.
more just by shooting. I go and I shoot whatever. I give free shoots, I gave paid shoots, and when I just started, I remember I did a $50 shoot, which was gonna be like a 10 minute shoot. I mean, of course, that was 10 minutes. It's still shooting. That's still a lot of time. I still have to charge a lot, but during that time, because I just started, I charged for $50. So I had
Wow.
three clients, yes, who signed up, and one was a family, one was a graduation, and one was just a birthday. So yeah, so from there I just started doing and
I
doing.
I I really love the fact that you said you're still learning every day, and that
Mm-hmm.
is truly life, whatever you're doing, whatever craft, or I mean, even if you're in a job, you have to be improving yourself
Oh yeah,
every day.
yeah,
And the longer you do something, you become a master
exactly,
of it,
exactly,
you know.
exactly. And that is my goal. That is my goal. And I even hear photographers who have been doing it for many, many, many years. They still say they are still learning, and I say, you are still learning after 10, 15 years. Oh my God. So I have a long way to go. Oh my goodness.
No, but
But yeah,
looking at your pictures, they are very, very beautiful, and
thank you.
you're doing a great job. I mean,
Thank
I'm
you.
really, really uh, proud of what you're doing. But can you
Thank you.
tell us, like, what are you specializing in terms of your photography?
Right. So right now, I would say I am Jackie of all trades, okay? Because so right now I'm choosing not to focus on one specific, right? Right now, because I'm still loving doing every category, right? I really still love doing maternity. I love doing graduations. I'm going now into weddings. So I'm loving doing all of those. Maybe eventually I might focus just on one, but for right now, I'm loving all of them, So
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe in the future I might focus on boudoir, or I might focus on weddings, but we'll see. That's actually a journey I'm very interested in going into. Right,
Hmm.
finally deciding. Okay, do I want to give up all these other categories, all these other types of shoots, and just focus on one? So we'll see. We'll
So
see.
tell me about the last two clients you had.
Yes. So,
Hmm.
I'll tell you, there's this one, the latest one, whom she actually just sent back some of the so that her favorites that I took, and so those are the ones that she wants me to enable her to download. So this lady, she reached out to me on this website called Fash, and I responded to her, and we got to talking. And let me tell you, this lady is my ideal client, and I'll tell you why. She has been very responsive. Okay, when she reached out to me, I immediately responded, and we got to texting. We were texting back and forth. I went out, I checked out a couple of locations, sent her the video. She said, I like this, I like that. No, I don't like it. So we both decided on what was best, right? After that, we talked about her outfits. She arrived early. Okay, it's not just on
What kind of
time.
shoot? What kind of shoot was it?
It was the 30th birthday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so she was about to turn 30 and she bought herself a Tesla. So I was like, this is so cool. Yeah, so she wanted to shoot with the Tesla. So she arrived on time. She brought her partner and they both helped with the I mean, everything, the shoot went so well. The vibe was amazing. And what I like to do is when my clients arrive, or I should tell them this ahead of time, if you have any poses that you want to try, if you have any ideas of what you want to do, please do it. Okay, and just let me know. Even if as I'm shooting, you're just posing, please go ahead and do it. Just don't be restricted to just my poses or my ideas, right? Because of course, more heads are better than one. So come with whatever ideas you have. So she was an amazing client, and she was so happy in the end. And I sent her the images. She absolutely loved them. Like, she could not. One of the difficult parts is taking all those pictures, editing them, and then the client having to choose the ones that they like. They said, this is so difficult, I cannot choose.
So in that particular birthday shoot, right?
Yes.
How many pictures did she selected?
So based on the number of hours, right? It was a 2-hour shoot. So and the money that she paid, she could get 25 images, right? So imagine. So it ended up being a 3-hour shoot because it was so much fun and I just kept shooting. I took about, I would say, 400 pictures. Okay, of course, some of them were bad and some of them were random. So imagine about 350 to 400 pictures, having to narrow down to about 65. So I sent her 65. Yeah, so she got to choose 25 of that 65 that I edited. So
wow.
It was
so when she chose the 25, right? Do you go back to do hard editing on them, like with Photoshop and stuff like that, before you send the final pictures to her, or how does it work?
So for this particular case, right, I had edited a few of them and I really liked the variety because I edited about 6 of them with different types of edits. And I sent it because personally, so I could not decide which one to use. Usually, I just understand what exactly they like, what exactly they want, and I just edit and I send it to them to choose. But for this one, I could not decide because the pictures, they were so beautiful, and both edits were just so beautiful, and I could not decide. So I sent it to her. I said, "You make the choice." And the interesting part is she could not decide either. So I was like, "Oh my God," because it was so the images were so pretty. So what I did was I decided to duplicate them. So I edited one, which took a little bit longer, but I did not complain at all because I really liked how they turned out. So I edited, duplicates of them, and I sent it. So I didn't really need Photoshop. That I don't use it all that much, but it's there if I need it for something specific.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm happy to hear about the general background of your photography style and how you handle clients and all of that. But let's talk about you now. When you told your friends or family like you want to go into photography, what did they say? I'm interested to hear that.
Yeah, so I consider myself, I don't like to say lucky, I consider myself very blessed because I have always been surrounded by family and friends who have always supported every single thing I do. I'll tell you, I have never come up with an idea that they've told me no, ever. I mean, everything I come up with, I see through and I do it. So every time I said I want to do this, they are behind me 1,000%. When I started sewing and I had my first show with a group of other designers, every single member of my family showed up. right down to the
Wow.
smallest baby. Everybody showed up. So I have been very blessed to have a supportive family. My mom, she is my biggest cheerleader. So she has always supported me 1,000,000%. So I have a whole army behind me they're always pushing me, supporting me. So when I told them, I said, hey, I want to do this. So they're like, okay, go ahead and do it. So they're always the ones pushing me instead, because sometimes I will have doubts, right? Yeah, sometimes I
That
said, but can
that
I
that is
really
so
do this?
wonderful. That is wonderful
Yeah.
that you're surrounded by people who are there to push you. In fact, I love that, you know. But
Yeah.
tell me a little bit, like when you started. I know when we start something new, we're always nervous, and you know, and then
Yeah.
sometimes dealing with other family members, you know, like when you go to shoot like a birthday, and you know, other people are looking at you. You know, they usually have this. I don't know, perception that everybody who's a photographer maybe didn't go to school or are not educated. That's why they become a photographer. Did you have anything, or did you feel like you were being looked down upon?
So no. And I guess because being a female, right? One of the last events that I did, the people were so amazed. I'm telling you, they were like, oh my goodness, who's you come out? They were so shocked that I was a female photographer. So
Oh.
whether they thought I was uneducated or they thought whatever they thought about me, it did not enter my head. I did not think about it. And if there's anyone out there who thinks like that, I pray to Papa God that your mind changes around, because that is such a wrong way of thinking, especially in this day and age. You know, you have PhD holders who are probably working as assistants, or who might be working in a grocery store. So you cannot see someone and just assume, oh, they are not educated, so that's why they are doing this. I mean, if I start listing my education to you, my, I mean, all my degrees and certifications and whatnot, and degrees that I'm still to have, certifications that I'm still to have. So the fact that I'm doing this does not at all mean that, oh, this person doesn't have an education. Really, I'm hoping, if you have that thought in your head, I take God and beg you, shift and for corner, because that is not a very good way of thinking.
Right. I mean,
It's
it
not
all
right.
boils, it all, I mean, I know where that stemmed from, you know,
Yeah.
especially back home where, you know, people, your parents, or, you know, you're expected to go to school, and then,
Yes.
you know, you graduate and, you know, get a job. You know, starting a business is not even an option for so many people. But now, you
Yeah.
know, with everything going on now, it's proven to us that it's good to have multiple skills,
Exactly.
you know, because
Exactly.
your job is no more guaranteed. Back in the days, people can work in the ministry, or, you know, maintain a job for 10, 20, or 50 years. But nowadays, there's no guarantees. So,
No.
yeah. So, mhm.
Yeah, I mean, you
So
you you cannot be rich off of one income. I'll tell
eh,
you that.
you said it all. You said it all. I love that, you know,
Yeah.
especially being in the US with the bills, you know, if you're relying on
Oh,
one
yes.
salary, what happened when you lose that job? Or
Exactly.
you're in Cameroon, you just graduated from university,
Exactly.
your focus is only on getting a job. What happens if
Uh-huh.
5 years, 10 years down the road, you don't get that job? What are you gonna do?
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
And one thing I like about you is that you're in project management, like you
Management.
said. How
Mm-hmm.
do you mix that with the photography?
So, so being a project manager, you have to have very good time management, and you have to be very organized. That is I cannot emphasize that enough. You have to be very organized. So that part, of course, that's my daytime work, right?
Mm-hmm.
But photography, of course, is my passion, is what I really love. So I use my organizational skills, I use my time management skills, because my photography, I'm literally doing everything by myself. Well, by myself, yeah, because I
Mm-hmm.
have to do this. So when a client reaches out to me, right, from that process up until I deliver, that is a project. right?
Mm-hmm.
From start to finish. So taking them in, I ask what their requirements are. I take all of that. I have to scout the location, or if they already know where they want to shoot, that's great. You know, sometimes I'll actually go out there and I check out the location, or I would get there at least like an hour or two early to just look around the place. So I have to shoot, I come back and I edit and I send them out. So all of that, it takes a lot of organization, right? So if you are not organized, yeah. You
Wow.
run
So
it.
if you're watching this and you need a wedding photographer or a maternity photographer, or your birthday is coming, you need birthday shoot, or you need a professional headshot for your LinkedIn, Sheila Abim is the one you should be talking to. She got very good organizational skills. That's a win-win situation, because she's going to handle it as a project and give you a perfect job. And one thing I realized, about photography is that there are not many photographers. So most of the photographers out there end up taking a lot of jobs, and they don't even have time to edit and, send to the clients. Do you do such a thing? Have you ever handled a client complain that, where are my pictures? Why are you delaying and stuff like that?
God forbid, no. So, so my policy is I shoot and I send it out within 2 weeks. That's it, 2 weeks. The only exception is now, because I'm traveling within the next week. So between now and the next few weeks, I've told them 3 weeks. So and the reason for that is I don't want to pile up, right? Because when you have work piled up, I don't know about others out there, it gives me anxiety. Like it makes me, and it goes back to being organized, right? Once you have this shoot, you get it done, you edit, you send it out. Next one. So yeah, so at least once that task is done, you push it to the side. Next one, push it. So believe me, I've had experiences of waiting 6 to 8 months.
Here's this question I have for you. If you were back home in Cameroon, right?
Yeah.
Would you have been able to do what you're doing? I mean, like photography, because there it's really, the pay, maybe it's not going to be good as in US, and how it is.
You know what? Knowing how God works, I probably would have. And I'll tell you why. Because we all have, our journey in life is already predetermined by God. God already knows what exactly we're going to do, right? So if this photography, which I know it was God's doing, I know for a fact it was God's doing. So God said, you know what? This girl is going to be a photographer. So whether she's in Timbuktu somewhere, or whether she's in a village in China, or whether she's in her family house, in family
She'll still
compound
do
in
it.
Quen, she will be a photographer. So whether I was where, I believe I would have some way, somehow.
That's amazing. And what do you have to say to all these young Africans, be it back home or in the diaspora, who are hungry to make a difference? What advice do you have for them?
Just go out and do it. I know that sounds simple, or that sounds easy, but sometimes that's really all it takes just to get started. If whatever it is that you're hoping to do, okay, I tell everyone, or sometimes I see some people come and I ask certain questions online. I'm like, you have a computer in your hand in the name of a phone, right? Whatever idea you have, go on Google, search it, YouTube, search it. If you just have that idea and you have no idea how to get started, Google it, YouTube it, you will find some idea on how to move forward, right? And just get started. Start with what you have. Okay, I didn't have a professional type camera but I saved up money and I bought a beginner camera, right? And I just started shooting whatever. I shot nature. I was in Germany at the time, so there's beautiful landscapes there. So I just started shooting. Yeah, so I would tell them, don't let anything stop you. If you have to beg your parents for money, if you have to take up a second job, if you have to save $5-10 of your money to get started, just start now. Start somewhere.
How much was the camera you got, when you were just starting?
That, oh wow. I think that was like $500. So it was a set. It was a
Right.
camera, and it was the camera and then two lenses inside. So it was a set. It was
Wow.
about 500. Trust me, that is a beginner. When I say
Mm-hmm.
beginner camera, because
I
the ones
know.
I have now,
Mm-hmm.
the ones I have
Expensive.
now.
Mm.
Oh my
So
goodness.
there are lots of business owners on Iwing Marketplace, you know, and I
Right.
realized that most of them, they don't really pay attention to quality. And, you know, when people are shopping online, what attracts them to a product is the quality of the
Right.
picture.
Right.
So do you do product photography? And if yes, you know, say something to our people out there in the Iwing Marketplace community that will be looking for a product photographer.
Um, so, oof. So that is the one area I have not ventured into yet. I
Mm-hmm.
never say never, and I never rule anything out.
Mm-hmm.
So as of right now, no.
Mm-hmm.
But we never know the future.
I mean, you're
It's,
doing birthday already, you know, like take for
yes.
example, you can even specialize for people who have fashion business, like fashion
Mhm.
designers, you know, you can do their photography and different stuff like that. But keep pushing and keep practicing and, you know, but before we go, what do you have to say, or what are your words to your clients and your prospects?
Yes. So I will say this to all prospective clients. And I would like to say, me being a woman, that is my superpower. Okay. And um, I strive to be friendly. I strive to be feminine. I strive to be nice. I strive to be as accommodating as possible. So, with that being said, every prospective person that comes to work with me, I am hoping for good communication, because there is so much get lost, with, like, if I'm sending you your contract to sign, and then you're not getting back to me, you're not signing it, that it prolongs the process. That's not good. And also, I will say this about pricing. I just want to put this out there. The amount of work that goes into photography, okay, we are not overpricing you. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying this on behalf of a lot of the photographers out there. We are not overpricing you. So when you come to us with your budget, we do, well, let me not speak for everyone. I do my best to respect your budget, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
come to me and you say, hey, this is what I have, or this is how much I have, can you work with it? More than always, I will work with it, right? So when I give you my price, say, oh my God, that's too much. Oh my God, that's fine. But you have to understand that this is still a business that I'm running, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I shoot, if I'm shooting for 1 hour, that 1 hour I can shoot like almost 200 images, right? And I still
Mm-hmm.
have to come back and take time to edit, right? I can shoot for that 1 hour, but it's gonna take me 3, 4, 5 hours to go through all those images and edit them. So I'm asking everyone to understand that, number one, it's a business. We're all trying to make, whether it's a full-time hustle or it's a side hustle, we are wanting to make money. And
Mm-hmm.
if you want quality, if you want something that you can be proud of, something that you can be happy about, it is going to cost money. And you have to go to where your money fits, right? If you come to me and I say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, it's going to cost you $1,000 for that your wedding, you're like, oh my God, I only had 500. That's fine. Find someone who can take your 500, right? So I'm really hoping that folks will really understand that, we are doing our best to accommodate you, but you have to, work with us and communicate.
I just love what you've said, and I love that you've already carved your niche, and then you know your price. Because one of the things that frustrate people and they get out of business is that they're pricing too low, and then doing a
Mm,
lot of work, and then they get burned out,
exactly.
and then they quit. You're gonna stay in
Exactly.
business, and I love that. But we're
Amen.
gonna take this. We're gonna take this question from Song Hin Wan. Song Hin Wan. She said,
Mm,
"What's your favorite editing software, and which lens do you use for family portrait and
mm.
wedding setting?" Just real quick.
Okay,
So,
so for software, I use Lightroom and I use Luminar AI. So those are my
mm,
two favorites.
mm,
And sometimes, I mean, I use Photoshop like to clean up, if they have like
mm.
blemishes, or if I need to, liquefy something, I will use that. But I use it every now and then. But Lightroom, Luminar AI. My favorite lens is the Sigma 35. That lens has changed my life. Holy moly. So 35 Sigma, and also the 70 to 200. That one, the bokeh is absolutely out of this world. So
Wow.
Sigma, they make some
How much
amazing
is the
lenses.
Sigma? How much is the Sigma 35?
Oh, I think that was about 700. Yeah,
Mm.
it was about
Okay.
700.
See,
Um,
gadgets are not cheap. So if you're hiring a
so
photographer, be ready to pay because they've
be
invested a
ready to
lot of
pay.
money to get all these gadgets and stuff like that. And when they come
Exactly.
also, make sure you give them food if they're shooting for long hours. Otherwise, your pictures will get deleted.
You know what? I
Have you ever deleted pictures because they didn't?
no. It has not happened yet. Fingers crossed. God forbid that will
Mhm.
not happen.
Guys, this has been wonderful. It's so nice talking to Sheila. And thanks for sharing, about your gadget, about your story. We are so, so, so happy to hear how you've thrived in the business. Keep doing your thing. We are
Amen.
behind you. Thanks
Thank
for joining
you.
us.
Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
You
Bye.
too. Thank you
Bye.
guys for joining us today on Iwing Marketplace Chit Chat. Thank you, Song Hing Wan, for all your questions and comments and like. Thank you everyone who showed us support. Keep supporting businesses on Iwing Marketplace. Keep shopping on Iwing Marketplace. It's quite easy. You just browse through, you look at the business that you like, you contact them through their email, or you call them, or you visit their website. That's all it takes. Thank you guys. This video will be available on our YouTube. Make sure you share, because we do rely on your generosity to share this information so people can watch. Thank you
Definitely.
all, and we are out.